But you were determined, weren't you? Do you know why? Because I made it theater, and I made it interactive, and I made you guys characters. And now, I could have even been maybe telling you it was a color I thought of 2 years ago, or maybe it was a color I thought of right now. So that would have meant any of your answers were going to be correct. But when you got the idea that you could maybe figure out what was going on in my head, it became fun, didn't it? But you couldn't get all the way in because there was a chance you could have been wrong. Now, when you see a movie, you always know the hero is going to win. What you love is watching them go through the struggle.
Once I watched the movie and the bad guy won.
There are times when the bad guy does win.
But then they usually have like another movie.
He's correct. They make another movie because they want that hero. And you know what that's called? That's called the hero's journey. Do you know anything about salmon? Do you know what salmon is?
Yeah, they fish.
Yeah. And what do? They do something really different.
They jump in the water.
They jump. And what direction do they jump?
Up and back.
So they go against the water. So can you imagine being a fish? Hold on one second. And you are strong enough to go against the current and then jump in the air and you don't have water around you? That's pretty risky. Now, don't you think that'd be worth writing a story about someone who's kind of like a salmon? Because that's a big flip.
Yeah.
Like one day you're just going along with everyone else. You're not bothering anybody. You raise your hand when you're supposed to. You line up. You do what you're told. And then one day you decide, I'm going to do something a little different. Oh my gosh. What would happen to you? What would happen if when you're jumping in the air, a bear happens to put his mouth out and catch you? But what would happen if you actually jumped and made it back upstream and you got to go back and visit all your friends back at home again? Is it worth taking that journey?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you something really fun. Here's the fun. If you had to take that journey over and over and over again, it'd be exhausting. So you know what you get to do in theater? You get to take the journey and you don't have to wear all of the war wounds. When they say action, you can act like whatever. And then when they say cut, you can fall. And then they go cut, and you wake up and you go home. And you come back and you do it again. How many of you would like a job like that? Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's why I'm going to see.
I was saying, I appreciate you saying you didn't get it. What part didn't you get?
Like what you fall down and you come back and you just do it.
Yeah, that picture wasn't clear, was it? What if I told you, in my movie, because I was pretending I was in a movie, and someone was chasing me, and I knew they had like pretend bullets, but they were going like, and I was like, oh, they got me. And then it's like I'm supposed to be going, but they go cut, and I get to go, what? What happened? And I get to wake up, and it's all pretend. So I was showing a picture of a real cool adventure movie.
Which one?
One starring me.
I've never heard of it.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Kirby. You've heard of it.
Now I have.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking? Nothing is
I'm
great.
thinking about something. That means you can put
Thinking about hamburgers.
If you have, you know, that's perfect. If you have nothing, you can put new ideas. And then if you have something like your penguin, then you don't have to think about nothing.
I'm thinking about hamburgers.
He's never thinking of something.
Is that necessary?
No, how do you like your hamburgers?
With cheese and ketchup and
That's a
onions.
cheeseburger. Hamburgers don't have
Wow.
cheese.
He's the odd one.
Is that right?
He's
He's the
rotten.
odd one.
Plus, hamburgers don't have cheese on them.
Can.
No, they can't.
No, I don't.
He talks cocky. You usually do.
But he does talk.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's what Mr. Carter. He didn't know that much about you.
I
They was
just
like,
dropped
I
it
did
with
not.
stupid Mr.
I thought
Carter.
they were the cutest little girl, innocent girl on
Is that
earth.
right?
And then she was like,
But
but
now
now
you're
I know that you talk so much.
No one, you're the most talkable person in the year.
So
That's what Mr. Carter
who's the most talkative here at the table? You are, and then who's second? And who's third?
Julia.
Fourth?
No, I think it's
Kathleen.
Fifth?
No,
And 6?
Joe, Bonnie.
And
No.
then-
Caitlin.
Yeah, Caitlin's
And then 7.
I think Caitlin should be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Now, has there ever been anyone here who was shy and then they changed and they became talkative? How did you do that,
I was
Flip?
there.
How did you do
I
it?
was always
How did you do it? How do you change?
Because
You just
get
do it.
used to the people and you everyone's saying their ideas and you're not scared of them laughing at your ideas.
Do you remember the day you changed? Can you remember the day you just flipped and said, now I'm going to talk? Can you remember that, or does it just happen? How does it happen? Yeah.
It just
Because
happens.
you change with yourself about other people. Like, I had to go lessons with my dad how to shake a man's hand properly. And you would have to look in the eyes and say, my name's Henry, what's yours?
Wow. How does he feel about that? Anybody know? Bored. What else?
Bored hearing it.
Bored. You were bored hearing it. Wow. What was he talking about? I couldn't even hear that.
Hands.
Shaking hands. What about shaking hands?
Then my dad had to teach me. Well, I spent like 15 minutes once just because I was so shy. That was like whenever I was like 2.
You never.
Why were you shy at 2?
Henry, you were shy. You're a little kid. You're shy.
Why would you be shy at 2?
You were shy because
What was it?
Because I get bit. Because I would keep on getting bit in the back at school.
Oh, wow.
I got bit in the back from my old best friend. Then I bit in the back.
Who was your best friend?
Were you pretending to be a table with food? I'll tell you what. Somebody in here has a story on how you were once really shy and then you learned how to talk. And I want to understand that flip. Is that you? Go ahead.
Well, once I was shy because I didn't know that much people because I was just small. And then once I started getting to know people more about them, once I got to know and hear who they were, then I would actually speak up and kind of know who they were.
All right. That's good. Go ahead.
There was this guy who's a parent of one of the kids here, and when my parents have known him since I was like 3, and I'd always be like really terrified of him, like I am with a lot of people. Well, when I was 2.
You'd be terrified of anything.
Is it me?
And like whenever he touched me, I'd scream. But once I was in like 1st grade, I wasn't so scared of him anymore. But I was still a little shy.
Was it me?
I don't know why.
I get shy when I meet new people around me.
Oh, wow.
You know who's
Well,
gonna be?
I want to ask one another question. Something really cool happened here. I don't know you guys, do I?
Let's go around.
You know me? But how come you're not shy with me? That's weird.
Because
I like
I
to
just
talk a lot.
help us.
I think he's
I am.
I know a cousin named Kirby.
Okay. Okay, so I know why she's not. She knows the name.
I know Kirby, the little tiny
And you heard of Kirby.
He eats stuff and then he turns into that kind of thing.
Eats stuff and turns into something.
If he eats pie, he turns into pie Kirby. If he eats a frying pan, he turns into a frying pan Kirby.
So it's kind of like you are what you eat.
Literally.
Are you
talking
about the yellow, the pink eye Kirby?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was always a big
Okay.
little pancake. My mom and dad, we have these neighbors that live by us, and they knew whenever